Nerds love puzzles, especially the kind you can solve in public to demonstrate your massive intellect. And wizards, they know their audience. Crafting nerd bait is practically their specialty. Just take a janky design from a summer intern, add a single rule breaking line of text, toss it out, and watch the nerds swarm to it. How well does it play doesn't matter, that's their problem to solve. Just look at them one by one by one. It's so Hold up. What am I doing there? Hello everyone, this is Jin with Next Level Commander, and I am very smart. But others in my playgroup are having trouble seeing it, partly because of my previous Hare Apparent decks not quite doing what I wanted. Balin feels more like a combo deck. All or Nothing, Arabella, and Phineas are explosive, but a bit too fragile. All these top commanders are missing something, I felt. Something mysterious hovering at the edge of my perception when I search for it. But when I close my eyes, oh yeah, it's just black. Here, Apparent needs black, simple as that. Here, Aristocrats is the best way, not close. But why am I bringing this up now? I'm glad you asked. Well, because I'm also a bit of an expert in the workings of the interwebs, algorithms, trends, and all that. In simpler terms, here is the pulse of the internet, and here's my finger. Lorwyn Eclipse is the next hot topic, and I'm always on top of those. And this set happens to include possibly the best Hare Apparent commander. The one I've been waiting for. Erdu, Carrier of Dawn, and the flip side, Isalu, Carrier of Twilight. Erdu? Hairdo? No way this is a coincidence. If that isn't on the nose enough for you, just take a look at the abilities. The front side is explosive and the back side provides resilience. So our commander does pretty much everything. With commanders like this, we just need to find their weaknesses, address that, and they'll take care of the game. The first problem with Erdu is the cost. It's actually pretty expensive at 5 mana, and it's probably a removal magnet because our opponents are jealous. So what do? You're expecting me to say protection spells, aren't you? Not this time. I'm a man full of surprises. Subscribe for more. But this time we are not dedicating too many card slots to keeping our commander around because our deck is a perfectly functional Aristocrat's shell. Erdu just takes it over the top. We do want a decent amount of RAM though to get Erdu out as early as possible. Been living in my car for 2 weeks now to buy the new Soulstone. Nothing else really worth addressing here, nothing too special, except for maybe Patchwork Banner, I guess, because we do plan to attack once in a while. Another weakness we need to address is gas. Erdu, the front side, allows us to convoke into more convoke, but we need to keep the gas flowing, so I maxed out on card draw. Turns out black can do anything as long as you feed bunnies into the machine. We are prioritizing card draw in creature form because they can also be convoked out. We actually get so many bunnies once we get the train rolling that Sandstone Oracle is a perfectly reasonable inclusion. I was actually this close to tossing in some Kozileks as well. Might still try them if the deck turns out to be explosive enough, but for now the rule of thumb is creatures with exactly one black pip. Those are ideal because they can chain into each other. The ones with more have to be really freaking good to justify the inclusion. Now, a lot of the best ones here requires bunnies dying, so sack outlets. Umbral Collar Zealot seems ridiculously good, but aside from this, we have the typical package. Yeah, this deck is fairly straightforward if you are familiar with Aristocrats. The only difference is we need to make room for 24 Hares, and a few cards that are broken with them. We don't actually need to win through attack. Draining is just so much more efficient most of the time, and doesn't require us to wait a turn for Summoning Sickness. Can't say I'm a Universus Beyond fan if I haven't flipped a Sephiroth. We don't have too much room for utility, unfortunately. A few board wipes that work well with the Hares, and a spot removal to not auto-lose to certain cards. But yeah, we are very much you do you, I do me, but faster kind of deck. And here we have another reason to play black, the mass reanimation spells. They're actually so efficient when your creatures are 2 power and 2 mana value. Echoing Return is sweet here, but of course, Thrumming Stone. Now, you notice I haven't talked much about the backside of Erdu because 2 reasons. One, it's slow and probably not happening often. Your opponents aren't going to watch you cast the front side, vomit your hand onto the board, and think, I wonder what the backside does. Maybe we should wait and see. And the second reason is if you flip it, you pretty much win on the spot with just some basic setup. Just sack a Hare in response to the Persist trigger, sack another, sack another. There are also a ton of infinite combos you can do with Persist, but I've decided against it. Definitely an option though, if you want. And finally, the lens, we need excellent mana fixing, prioritizing white. I tossed in the Cavern of Solstin because We don't want our commander countered. 3-Tree City is going to be so much fun here, and the only other lands that need explaining are probably Emergent Stall and Winding Canyons. Yeah, if possible, I want to go off at instant speed, holding up 7 or 8 mana at the end of turn, convoke into convoke into convoke, untap, transform Urdu is probably going to win a lot of games. And there you have it, Urdu and Isilu. The deck can definitely be described as explosive. The commander being 5 mana does slow things down a little bit. It's fairly resilient though, especially if you somehow get to flip to the backside. But even without it, the typical Aristocrats deck will turn the board into cards, or at least a good chunk of life drain if we get wiped. All Aristocrats decks require a little bit of practice to pilot, but don't worry if you're taking long enough, the table will chime in to help you kill themselves. Budget is mid and it's technically bracket 2, but if you wish, we can definitely make use of some game changers, like Ancient Tomb, maybe even a Mana Vault to power out our commander faster. Demonic Tutor is always good, and I'd also love to try a Bola Citadel. But yeah, Lorwyn Eclipse looks great. I can't wait to try this legend and many others from here. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.